Hey everyone, Matt here on the Vinyl Head UK channel. How are we all doing? It's Sunday, it's the end of a weekend, it's the end of a week, and I thought we'd go with a nice chilled out pace of a record. We've looked at a lot of metal recently, some of my metal records from my small but growing collection of vinyl, but I thought we'd go back and do a bit more country. I'm a country fan. We've already looked at the Cadillac 3, a record of theirs that I have. And I thought we'd go with another kind of country rock sounding band, but nonetheless a great, really great up and coming country artist, okay? Their name is 1,000 Horses. And right here, I have live from the London Metropolis studios. So this is a 6-track live EP, not live as in with fans at a normal gig, live recorded in a studio, so you don't hear a crowd or anything like that. It's just the band playing live in a studio. It was released in 2017 as part of Record Store Day, so it's not kind of classified as an official release as such. I didn't know about it until I saw it listed on Discogs. Had a look, and I was lucky to find it at a really great price. I thought I'd be stupid not to snatch it up, so I did. I looked at some other sellers who were selling it, and it was selling for a little bit higher, so I got a real good find with it, and I'm not disappointed, I'm going to tell you that, okay? So, 1,000 Horses, they were formed in 2010 in Nashville. Of course, where else? Country music band. I'm sure there are country acts from other places than Nashville, but we associate country music with Nashville, so obviously a great place for the band to be from. They have released an album in 2015 called Southernality, and then in 2017 they released a kind of a deluxe EP called Bridges, which actually features these live tracks on it, but I just managed to find the studio recording separate, which I quite like. I like that it is a separate recording there that I can own. So let's have a look. Let's talk about it as always. As I say, it's just 6 tracks, so we look, and obviously we can see the band right there. Nice black and white pictures of the band. Flipping it over, we have our track listing. Actually, I have kind of 2 track listings here, if you can see. We have side A and side B, and then again we have a track listing going here with credits rolling down there. This was released by the Big Machine label group. Add that one in as well. As I say, it's a 2017 release. It's got a nice little recorded live to vinyl, a little bit down there, which I quite like. But yeah, let's look inside. It does come with, I can slide it out. It's not a lyric sheet as such, but it is just pictures of the band during what I imagine is this recording process for recording this EP. So various pictures. We have additional instruments and musicians featured on this, which I'll come to in a minute. So we don't just have the band, we have all sorts of different people playing different instruments. As I say, I'll run through that in a minute. But there you go, there's our second side. You can see the band down here. The various nice black and white stills, which is quite a nice little thing to get with it. And as per normal, it is black vinyl. Let me show you it. Slide it out. We have side A. Nothing too much, nothing amazingly different on the label there. 1,000 Horses, the name of the EP. Side A, and our track listing does state every track as a live acoustic. And side B is just a repeat of that. You can see again the logo, the name of the EP, and our track listing once again on side B. So let me put that away so it is nice and safe once again. So on this EP. I'll tell you who is playing, who makes up 1,000 Horses. I don't know their names off by heart, apologies. But we have on lead vocals Michael Hobby. Acoustic guitars on this record we have Zack Brown. That's not to be confused with the other country artist Zack Brown, who has the Zack Brown Band. They are two different people, just in case you were thinking the other Zack Brown was part of 1,000 Horses. And also Bill Satcher on guitars. And then on bass we have Graham DeLoach. Now, as I say, there are additional musicians on this record as well. So let me read those guys out, just in case you wanted to know who else we had. So on cello, we have Fiona Pope. On the fiddle and the keyboards, we have Brian Perwin. And then on the drums, we have Shane Lenzen. And then we have a couple of backing vocalists, who I'll come on to again in a short little bit. Morgan Hebert and Kristen Rogers. I hope I've pronounced everyone's name right on that one. So that's who makes up this record. And then our track listing, as I say, take your pick. Which one you want to read it from? Side A, Travellin Man, Preaching, Sunday Morning. And then side B, we have One Man Army, Bridges, and First Time. So these tracks are split. So we have 3 that appear on Southernality, which is that album of theirs. So Travellin Man, Sunday Morning, and First Time. And then from Bridges, which is that kind of deluxe EP of theirs, we have Preaching, One Man Army, and Bridges, title track from that EP there. So that is what makes up this 6-track. So I'll come on to the sound in a minute. As I say, I got this from Discogs. I found it a great price. It's not, I knew of Southernality. That's how I kind of discovered the band. I heard Southernality, the story behind it as such. So I like country. I'm relatively new into country though, in a way, I guess. So my parents as well, my dad's big into rock, some metal, but both my parents are very big on country music. As a child, we did a couple of holidays out to America, and the country radio was always the radio station of choice when we were traveling in a car. And so my parents got very big into country, all sorts of artists. I grew up with my mum playing a lot of Garth Brooks in the house, for example. But I never massively got into country myself until a few years ago, a couple of years ago maybe, where I started to actually listen. I always knew of Garth Brooks. I could probably sing quite a few Garth Brooks songs just from hearing them so much as a child. But I guess I was one of those that kind of associated country with the Dolly Parton sound, which I was never really into. But I stumbled across a couple of artists, and Zack Brown, who I've mentioned already from Zack Brown Band, he did a track with Chris Cornell from Soundgarden and Audio Slave. And I stumbled across it because I'm a big Chris Cornell fan. I was devastated when we lost him. And I listened to this track and I really liked it. And then from there, it kind of grew. I listened to a bit more Zack Brown. Then I discovered Eric Church, who is very country rock and roll. He is an out-and-out rock star in the country setting, I think. And then got into a bit more the Cadillac 3, the Brothers Osborne, who again I think are more of a, it's kind of a theme here. It's more country rock that I like, more than out-and-out country. But artists like that, as I say, Zack Brown, Eric Church, Cadillac 3, 1,000 Horses, Kane Brown is another one. So it kind of went from there. Now, I'd heard of these main ones, as I say, like Eric Church, Zack Brown, etc. But I wanted to discover a bit more. I wanted to learn a little bit more about country and listen to more artists. I think it's really fun, great driving music. I think country lyrics are incredibly honest. Metal lyrics can be an escapism, but you have to use your imagination a little bit to interpret lyrics with metal, whereas I think country is very straight to the point, and you don't have to analyze them too much, but they're very, very honest about a number of subjects, which I'm sure everybody has been through. So I went and Googled and went online and checked out, and 1,000 Horses was one of the artists I found, and I listened to Southernality and I loved it. I really, really love that album. And so on Discogs, I went on and I was looking at what they've released. I've listened to Bridges a little bit. And then I found this one, which I thought, oh, that's cool. Nice little sort of live session. Let's check it out. And that's how I found it on Discogs and purchased it. And it arrived. It's in not bad nick. There is, I very much doubt this will really show unless the light catches it, but there is quite a crease coming down this corner here, which is a little shame. It's not very noticeable unless you get it in the light. It wasn't packaged too bad. Maybe it was creased beforehand, who knows. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to lose sleep. I quite like my records to be in relatively good nick. I'd never buy anything that's tatty and worn and torn, but yeah, you won't really notice. It's in good nick. And the sound of it. Let's talk about the sound of it. So, there is no crowd, obviously, but it is live. And I like that because it's not a quiet, it's a quiet disc as such, but it's not quiet volume quiet. It's got a bit of volume to it, which is nice. When you turn it up and you sit there, it feels like the band and the other musicians are playing around you. Travellin Man opens up with, after a few seconds, a harmonica, and it pierces through, not in a bad way, but pierces through the speakers, and you shut your eyes and there's that harmonica player right there. And then the guitars are over here, and then the vocals are over somewhere else. It's like they're around you. And it's nice, you know, if you have a live record on, you shut your eyes, it may feel like you're at the gig, but there's only so far you can go where you feel like you're at a gig when you're sat down on a couch or whatever listening. The same with just a studio album. It hasn't got that live feel too much. You know it's an album as such, but this, without a crowd but being live, has the feeling, especially with that volume turned up, that the band is playing for you. And as I say, this vinyl is the background noise. There isn't any. There's no pops or clicks or anything like that. It's got a good bit of volume to it. And it's just magic. And I've listened to this now a few times. It only arrived this week. I haven't had it for very long at all. But I have listened to it a good few times because I like to get a feel for it when I come and talk about it for you guys. And every time I found myself shutting my eyes without even realizing and feeling like the music is there live in my room with me. And I think that's a pretty magical feeling, really. You probably wouldn't get that too much from many records, so appreciate it when it comes around. But yeah, Travellin Man is that harmonica that comes through, and as I say, it's there in your ear. Fantastic. The highlight for me on this is Sunday Morning, which, as I say, was on Southernality on that album. And that is the highlight. It's the third track on the EP, the last track on side A. And we have our backing singers, so Morgan and Kristen. And again, with your eyes shut, they are there. And just for harmonies, I mean, our vocalist, Michael Hobby, has amazing voice anyway. This gritty voice, not too gritty, but just enough. He's a fantastic singer, really lovely voice. But with the harmonies of the backing vocalists, again, it's like they're there in your room. I can't describe it in any more way, any different way than that. It feels they're in your room. I'm glad it has a bit of volume to it to make it feel like that, because obviously if they were in your room, it would be to a a fair volume with the instruments and the vocals, so it feels just like that. It's like your own private concert from the band and everybody else involved. And I haven't had that feeling from any of my other records because I haven't got anything live yet. I'm looking forward to picking up a live record and seeing how it feels. But yeah, it was a special feeling, and it's not long. As I say, we don't have a track that clicks up to 4 minutes. The most just scanning through is 3 minutes 40. They're all in between 3 and 4 minutes, these tracks, so it's not a long amount of time to be listening to this, but it's one that will get a lot of play. Even if I only have 20 minutes, quick, let's stick something on just to have some music playing, I will probably go for this. Short and sweet, but very sweet. And I like it. I'm a big fan of this. I would like to go out and find Southernality and get that on because it's a really, really great country rock record. So if you're into country or you want to explore a little bit and find something that isn't too country, maybe, like I say, Dolly Parton-esque, check out these guys. We've looked at the Cadillac 3, as I say. Also, another one is 1,000 Horses. I just want to point out, as I've noticed it, Jaron Johnston, who is the singer and guitarist for the Cadillac 3, actually wrote, or partly wrote, Travellin Man, the opening track on this. So I know that Jaron does a lot of songwriting, has a lot of songwriting credits for various country acts. I've just seen his name pop up here. So another one to his extensive songwriting catalogue there. But 1,000 Horses, live from the London Metropolis studios. Go and check it out. It's a nice one. It's a cool one to have, especially as it was a Record Store Day release. Not something that you'll probably see too much out there in the shop. So go and hunt this one down. If you want to feel like you're having a private concert, this is the one for you. As always, go and subscribe. Let's build this channel as big as we possibly can. Spread the word. If you know people that are into vinyl or into music, go and share this channel out to them. Let's build it as big as we can. Go and smash the like button. Let's get some likes on these videos. And also hit that bell for all the notifications for when there is new content going up on the channel. But until next time, go out, buy vinyl, listen to vinyl. Take care, and I'll see you soon.